What is going on, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C-Dub, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about food addiction and emotional eating and how that can make fasting harder, and I'm going to do it right after this. Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new to the channel, my name is C-Dub. I lost 125 pounds using one meal a day method of intermittent fasting. And I want to talk to you guys today about something that I think is just hugely important. I am so passionate to make this video because I was just thinking about it and I tied some things together and I thought, you know what, this could really help other people because it certainly helps me. So we got to understand that most obese people are addicted to food, and it's an addiction to carbohydrates and sugars and sweets and all of that, but it's really an addiction to all food, and they're trying to deal with that. And then on top of that, a lot of us are emotional eaters. Not everybody, but a lot. So you're a food addicted and you're also an emotional eater, and those things tie together, and how it's easy to have a positive relationship with the amount of food we eat because food doesn't ever reject us and food doesn't ever say no to us. We can eat food, you know, whatever, and make ourselves feel better, and we can get endorphins. Actually, sugar increases the endorphins. So sugar can kind of become like heroin or cocaine. It can make you feel better. And so what better way to go than to use that food to get ourselves the endorphins that we need to feel better. The problem is that with that is we've been doing that since we're little. Something went wrong at school, we went home and we ate. We got some bad things. If we got hurt, our parents offered us ice cream. And there's some people that doesn't affect. There's some people that eat the ice cream and they move on. They might feel better that second, but it doesn't tie into their psyche the way that I think that it might in obese people. And so what do I mean when I say that? What I mean is, in obese people, if we continue to go back to the food for those issues, and we're obviously going to pile on weight, but it's kind of like if I told you today that instead of water, the most healthy thing is for us to drink alcohol, and I had some science behind it, and you started to drink alcohol every single day, right? Well, there's some people that could drink alcohol every day and never develop into an alcoholic. There's other people that start drinking alcohol every single day and quickly become an alcoholic. I think the same thing comes in food. And I think that a lot of what we've done is an emotional and an addicted, from emotion and from addiction. And so why does that even matter? That matters because when we start fasting, when the early stages of fasting and we're an obese person, sometimes when it's difficult, sometimes when it's really, really hard, and you're like, man, that first week stinks, the first 2 weeks stinks. I've seen several people on Facebook say they can't do it. And I'm like, guys, you can do it. But here's the thing. You're working through addictions. You're working through these issues. And here's where it gets tough. You've turned to food your whole life. And so now, if you're in your window, if you're in an OMAD window, and you're only going to eat one meal a day, and you get a flat tire at 9 in the morning, once you've fixed the flat tire and there's all that stress and anger and you're worried about the bill and you're worried about all the things that you have to do, you can't stop at the store and buy food. And so you have to really learn how to hone in and deal with that situation emotionally, and you don't have food as a crutch anymore. And guys, that is very difficult. You might get in an argument with a spouse. You might have a child that acted in the wrong way. You might have somebody at work that's treated you wrong. And you've always stopped and turned to food for the answer. And now when you turn, there's no one there. And that is a deep, hard struggle for all of us to deal with. And so I didn't even realize it, but I think that that's something that I went through. In the first few weeks, it was difficult to fast. And I couldn't understand how easy it is now. I mean, oh my God, I could fast forever. It just doesn't even faze me. I eat in my window. But I realized that I'm facing problems now head on. And that I keep saying it over and over and over again, guys, but I don't want to beat a dead horse, but every aspect of my life has improved from fasting. And I couldn't put my finger quite on what improved. I mean, I give you my 7 tips here and my benefits over here videos, and I give you all these wonderful things that happen. But what is wonderful is I broke my addiction. I don't have to turn to food anymore when I'm sad. I can deal with it with me. I don't have to turn to food when I'm upset, when I'm hurt. I don't have to turn to food when I'm happy. I don't have to celebrate with food, and I don't have to soak myself in food. And so when you're in that world, it starts to allow you to handle things on a whole different light. I keep talking about the time I have and the things that I have. Guys, I cannot explain to you how much of a better place I'm in my life. And it's because I didn't realize it, but food had control. Food was in my driver's seat. And I've used that expression before, but I don't know that everybody fully understands what I mean when I say that. But I literally mean that when I woke up, it was about food. In the middle of the day, it was about food. At night, it was about food. At times in between, it was about food. Whenever I was sad, it was about food. Whenever something amazing happened in my life, it was about food. It was about taking the family out to celebrate this. It was about finding a good thing for that. And when you start to add up all of these things, you begin to realize that that is the culture that we have built. The culture we live in the United States today, and even you guys that are following me in other parts of the world, that culture is based on food, and it's based on eating and eating and eating. When our ancestors were young, their culture was built on surviving. They had to hunt the food, so it took them time. Their bodies were able to break and relax and do the things necessary that we don't allow our bodies to do today. So, guys, all of that said, what does it mean? Why am I even watching the video? You're watching the video because I'm telling you, if it's hard right now, it won't be. Because right now you're dealing with more than being hungry. You think it's hunger, but it's not hunger. You're dealing with an addiction to food, and you're dealing with emotional eating. And now you don't have anything to turn to. It's the same thing as a person that smokes cigarettes. You talk to a person that smokes cigarettes, the hardest thing for them to do is to find something to do with their time. They're smoking out of boredom, and they don't know what to do with their time. The same thing with fasting. You're like, I have time that I don't know what to do with. Eating took time up, and now I have this time, and I'm just staring at a wall, and all I can think about is food. But if you fill that time with something, walking, you fill that time with YouTube, like I did too. You fill that time with whatever it is you want to do. Pick up a hobby, learn something new, read, write, start a blog, start a podcast. Doesn't matter if anybody ever listens. It doesn't matter if anybody ever subscribes. Do something positive with your time. Go take a class. Do something, and what will happen? Art. Work on art. Look at this. I'm coming up with stuff left and right. I don't know what it is you want to do, but I do know that if you fill the time that you have now, you're going to start. It's going to start getting easier. Not because you're getting better at fasting, although that has something to do with it. It's getting easier because you have taken care of tying food with free time, and tying food with emotions, and tying food into all of those things, guys. We literally are addicted. And it's sad, and I'm not trying to push that down anybody or make anybody feel bad or whatever the case is, but we are hung our entire lives around eating. And when you stop doing that, it is so difficult to figure out what to do in place of eating. What do I do instead of eating? And that is a question that is very difficult. But at the beginning of your intermittent fasting journey, if you tackle that head on and say, this is what I'm going to do. And I didn't figure that out in the beginning, but I've got it down now. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to handle my new time. And once you get that going, crazy things can happen for you guys. Like I said, I picked up walking as a hobby I never even knew I wanted to do. And now I have time for YouTube. And that is something that I just wanted to do to help 2 or 3 people, and it grows every day. And it's an amazing journey. I appreciate every one of you. So I just wanted to do this because I know that some people are out there struggling, and some people might have been in intermittent fasting a little longer and they're thinking about quitting. They clicked on my video today because they've done it for 6 months and it's so difficult for them and they can't get past this hunger. And what I'm telling you now is, guys, it's an addiction, and it's an addiction to having a habit of eating, and you have to be able to figure out what to do with that little bit of time. And if you do that, it's going to change everything. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Right here, my face, click on it, guys. Help a brother out. Subscribe to my channel. I got videos popping up. Make sure you guys take a look at those videos and stay on my channel and keep supporting me, and I'll keep supporting you. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.